Hey guys, I'm Zach.
It's Yinka here.
Right, what's the topic for this week?
So basically, we started this thing of Beyond Brains, and our first topic, which we'll be covering today in this video, is going to be tips for first years. So you first years are coming in. I'm sure you're wondering what's going on. What should I expect from studying medicine at Sofia Medical University? We've been through that stage, and we're just going to share our experiences and what we consider as the main tips which you're going to need for this over the first couple of weeks. So Zaki, would you like to go first? What would you consider, one?
I think generally a lot of people have a problem with accepting that they're here.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that you accept that you're here and why you're here straight away. I know it's very difficult. I know you have your family and your friends and you're leaving them behind for the first time, but I think essential to get stuck in, to accept that you're here, and that just frees your mind. It frees you to do things and to progress here rather than allowing something to hold you back.
Absolutely.
What about you? What do you think is something that's essential to be?
I think something that's essential, which for me I found quite important, is finding a good apartment to stay. I think while you're here over the first couple of weeks, that's going to be one of the first things that you do. Finding a good apartment, because once you get that good apartment, an apartment you love, an apartment where you feel at home, it kind of makes Bulgaria a home away from home for you.
And what do you mean by good apartment? Is it relative or are there specific?
I think it's relative actually. To a certain standard, you can't go below a certain standard depending on who you are and what you've experienced in the past. But I'll say get something you're comfortable with. Obviously, there's going to be a few compromises here and there, but don't compromise too much to the extent where you feel you're just managing. You have to be in a place where, because you're going to be studying in that place. You're going to be preparing for some really tough exams in that place. So it has to be somewhere where you feel comfortable.
That's a good point.
Oh, definitely. So any other points?
Another one that I believe is important. You have to be brave. You have to accept straight away that you're going to encounter difficult moments here. It's a difficult course. In my opinion, the most difficult in the world. Which is the way I view it. I see it as a challenge, and that's another internal motivation that excites me every day, knowing that I'm part of the most difficult course in the world. You have to be brave, you have to accept that you'll encounter difficult moments, but each difficult moment will pass. How they pass is up to you.
Definitely, I think you make a very good point, because one thing we always bang on every single time is your mentality. The mentality you come in doing things, because we go karting a lot, like race driving, and from the very start, your mentality at the start of the race determines how good you actually execute your game plan.
Yeah, you're right.
So
that's true.
that your mentality is very key, and I agree with them a lot in the sense that you have to get the mentality straight. You have to be brave and just come in with an open mind. Another point which I think leads off from his is also being brave and open-minded. Is as you're coming here, one thing I'm going to tell you is be friendly, make friends. One thing I can promise you is you can't go solo in medical university. You can't, in medical school, you just can't. And having good friends is very important. Now, it's not just having friends, but making good friends. Because if you make the bad friends, there's a saying that, if you hang with the wise, you just become wise. You hang with the foolish, you become foolish as well. And for me, that's been important. Having a great guy like Zaki here, he's pretty cringing now. But the thing is, having great friends around, and there's so many other people, both guys and girls, that I've made as friends, and it's made me feel at home here in Bulgaria. That sometimes leaving Bulgaria, coming back, it's always a bittersweet moment for me, because I'm leaving family. So I say make good friends and just stick with them and just make friends in general.
Definitely, I can relate to that. Another point, actually, I kind of talked about internal motivation. I'll delve slightly deeper into it. I think being able to motivate yourself rather than having external factors motivating you, excuse me, I think that's very important. So, for example, external factors, what could they be? Parents wanting you, pushing you to get, great grades.
Absolutely.
I think that's never going to work. You have to be motivated yourself. Because you're here by yourself. You're going to have to accept that you're here. You're going to have to accept that you want to work, or you have to work. You have to, you have to buy your groceries. You have to do your laundry. You have to mature. And if you don't mature, there's not really any
Definitely,
use of
I
you
agree.
being here.
I agree because
So
at the end
internal
of, yeah,
motivation is important. How you motivate yourself, I think that's relative. You have to find a way to motivate yourself.
Definitely.
How I motivate myself, I said before, I accept this enormous challenge of medical school, and each day it excites me. Each day is a challenge.
Definitely, and I definitely agree as well because one thing when we first met as well, even from the word go, one of the things we were doing already, informally, we set goals for ourselves from the very start. We were already like, I'm aiming for 100% in all my exams. I'm aiming to do this.
We were quite competitive actually.
Exactly, yeah. It's from the very start.
He got 100% in the English exam, which is like part of the entrance exam here.
Yeah.
I only got 95, and I remember walking out. I was like, no.
And I think,
I should have beaten him.
And I think that kind of sets the tone because from the start, once you get yourself into that mentality, I promise you, it carries you through. Because now, when it's not so tough, if you have that mentality, when you get to the moments which are a bit, more demanding emotionally, because you already have that mindset, it just automatically just carries you through because you built that strong foundation from the start. Another thing I'll say, which you're going to need later down the line, maybe when you start uni, is a good first impression.
That's very important.
You only make get a chance at a first impression once. So when you get to uni, you meet your lecturers, your teachers for the first time. You have to give the impression of a respectful and a hard-working student. I'm not saying be all fake and hypocritical, but just be respectful and just show them that you do actually get the work in and you really do want to be here.
A good example of that, actually, to follow up your point.
Definitely.
Anatomy. It's easy to study at home, yes.
Yeah.
But what I did and what you did, and a lot of people did actually, last year, was we studied in the anatomy department. So when we wanted to study bones or muscles or whatever, ligaments, we did it in the anatomy department. So, for example, when a teacher walks in, any professor walks in, they're going to see you, they're going to see how hard you're working. And that impression, that's just a cute way of showing them that you're working. If you can work equally at home, yeah, fantastic. But when they see you, that impression there, it's okay, this person is a hard worker. And that will stick, especially in the
Exactly.
exams.
I agree. And basically, I think if you're going to take everything away, you have to find a way to give the impression that you are a hard-working student. However you do it, now you have to be careful because there's a fine line between being being fake and just being you. That's what you do. You want to study. You're in the anatomy lab trying to learn all these things. So there's a fine line, and just aim that you don't give off the wrong impression. I say a rude student, a lazy student, because I promise you it will affect you and later down the line.
The teacher, no matter what you do, no matter if you're correct or if you're wrong, the teacher is always right.
Yeah.
Always. Sometimes you're going to feel maybe that you're unfairly treated. Accept that the teacher is correct. Even if wholeheartedly you believe that you are in the right, you're in the wrong. Get on with it.
Exactly. Don't get into argument with teachers. Please don't.
Especially in first year.
Please don't. I've heard so many stories, even from mates, friends of mine, people in higher years. Don't get into arguments with teachers. If you think they're wrong, if you can't say it in a polite way or in a way that's not going to look disrespectful, just don't get into arguments because I promise you, you will not come out the good side. So just try to avoid as much as possible.
Agreed.
And also another point which I'm gonna make is for aim to go to all your first week of lectures. Just aim to go there so you see how it is. Then when you see how all the lectures are, then later down the line you can get on with deciding which lectures
Great point.
affect you need more than others. You can get to see which lectures allow you to learn more in that sense.
Because yes, true. Because you're not go to all the lectures in the first week. You're going to find, for example, 2 or 3 that are worth going to, the rest not so much. So then you know for the future, okay, I can learn something, I don't know, in the anatomy lecture,
Yeah.
I can learn something in the chemistry lecture, but physics not so much.
Yeah.
You know for the future, okay, physics, no, I'll study physics by myself. Anatomy, you know, okay, for example, Professor Hinova, fantastic lecturer, worth going to her lectures in my opinion. You know, okay, each week I'm going to go to that lecture.
Absolutely,
I'm gonna take
I
notes,
agree.
And then I go home.
I agree.
It's stuck in my head before I even look at it.
Exactly.
Again, you know?
Exactly.
So definitely what he said. First week of lectures, go to everything. Pick out the lectures that are worth going to, and the rest.
At the same time, another point is that is not for everybody. Now, there's some people who lectures work better for. Some people, and I have loads of friends who attend all the lectures, every single one judiciously and religiously. And if that's you, go ahead with it. Whatever's going to get you those pass grades and even beyond.
Pass? No.
Yeah, even way
higher.
beyond. Aim
higher.
Yeah, whatever's going to get you the grades you're aiming for, which I suppose is the top grades. Exactly, a 6. Whatever's going to get you that grade, set the standard from the start. Whatever's going to get you those grades, just do it. If you think going to lectures is going to get you those grades, go for it. If you think you're better off staying at home, studying the slides, going to lectures every once in a while, going to, some selected lectures, go for it. As regarding your seminars, don't miss seminars. You have to go to every single one.
And don't give yourself excuses. Don't look at... You're going to have classmates or friends who are like, oh, I'm not bothered to go to Bulgarian on a Saturday at 8 a.m. or whatever. Go. You go. It doesn't matter what your colleagues do or your friends. You have to do it. Be disciplined. I think if you're disciplined and organized, you're halfway there.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in med school. You're halfway there.
You just really have to be strong-minded. Because when you think about it, you're aiming to become a doctor. Now you're going to be you're pretty much the pilot of this very big plane.
Yeah.
And, you have to be decisive. You have to be someone who's got a mind of their own. At the same time, being able to take, suggestions from others, but you got to have a mind of your own.
You need to know when
go on.
to stick to what you think is right.
Absolutely.
That's very important, because a lot of people are going to tell you stuff, and they may be correct, but sometimes they won't be correct. Sometimes 100% you'll be in the right, and you need to know when. You need to know when you'll be correct, and you need to fully believe that you're right, and you move forward.
And this should be in every area of your life. And I think, finally, I'll just say, we've started Beyond Brains. If at any point... Oh yeah, before we go, before we go,
something else.
Exactly. Before we go, by the way, another important key which he mentioned is before you start uni, you're gonna have a couple of week or say maybe a bit less where you're free. Have fun. Go out. You can just go sightseeing. You can go to the Sofia Zoo. It's a great place. I've been there twice. I think you've been there as well.
Yeah.
Go see the great churches. So many things.
There's plenty to do.
Not
just before uni. Work hard, play hard.
Exactly.
Keep that in your mind. Don't go out somewhere if you still have to study or if you still have work to do. Finish it, do your job, and then reward yourself. No one's stopping you.
And before we go, if you want to have fun, we're making so many, Zaki and myself, we're trying to create so many opportunities in the university to allow people to have fun, and fun in a competitive kind of way as well.
What is one way?
One of the ways is karting. We're starting so we'll call it like the Sofia Medical University Karting Society, and basically the actual name is On the Limit, and that even kind of tells you a lot about both of us then. Because
he's on the limit. Yeah, I'm nearly there.
You can see him, he's got the Ferrari shirt on. So basically, it's going to be really competitive, you're going to be in different teams, and we just kind of work it, just have fun at the same time, it teaches you a lot about and helps you develop loads of skills which you're going to need during your life.
So
in
what
medical
you're saying,
school.
racing can racing traits can be parallel to
Of
everyday.
course, definitely.
agree.
So many traits. From, like I mentioned before, your mentality at the start of the race, corresponding to your mentality at the start of
That's
medical
true.
school.
Like imagine, think of it now. Everyone's on the starting grid. Think of 20 people on the starting grid. If they're shaky, if they're nervous, if they're thinking about X or Y,
Yeah,
they're not gonna get off to a good start. Whereas
Absolutely.
if someone else is like waiting for the lights to go out and is believing that he's gonna have a great start, you will have a great start.
absolutely.
And you'll shoot by that other person who's thinking of X or Y. That's a key trait.
Absolutely.
Good start, and then just maintain that level. Maintain it. That's the difficult
Definitely.
part. Starting well is hard, but maintaining it is even more difficult. Being consistent.
So I suppose, just to kind of get a summary in. So, one of the things, what was the first one he said? You're here, accept it, and go with it.
You have to accept it.
Get into a good mentality. Number 2, get into a good mentality from the start. You have to have that mentality of win. I'm aiming for the top, the highest mark. Get that mentality straight in from
Look,
the
even
start.
naturally, if you're aiming, God forbid, for a 3, okay, if things go wrong, you failed. Whereas if you aim for a 6 and things go wrong,
Exactly.
you get a 4.
That's a very good example of aiming for the top, and that's helped us a lot. These are not things that,
We're not just saying it to be...
We've done it.
We've done it, yeah. We have done
So,
it.
apart from mentality, make good friends. You can't go use a medical school solo. You need friends. Don't force it. That does not mean you should start begging people, please be my friend. No. Just take it naturally, but you need people. Don't piss everyone off. Exactly. One thing I always say is,
Oh, no.
if everyone is not going to like you, at least don't let them hate you. They don't have to like you, but don't let them hate you. Obviously, if they still do, then
That wouldn't be a great
because
start, would
we
it?
have some of those. So the thing is,
Plenty.
and what else? What else they said?
Be brave.
Exactly.
You have to be brave.
Find a good apartment.
Motivate yourself.
Yeah. Find a good apartment and get settled in. Is there anything else?
Study hard and have fun.
Exactly. Have fun, and like we said, medical. There's loads of myths about medical school. Oh yeah, you have no time to have fun. You have no time to get out to go out. It's all nonsense.
Big time.
I can tell you, Zaki and I, both of us, we go out every weekend.
Sure.
Every weekend, and I can say this.
Whatever way you want to imagine. Okay, fair enough.
Exactly.
We go out, yeah.
Yeah, and we work quite hard, and we've been blessed enough to have achieved good grades in our first year to allow us to,
God.
start. Exactly. Thank God for that. To get into second year, happy, well motivated. So just aim for that, and I can tell you, it's not something that's impossible. You can definitely do it.
Before we leave them, I think a key thing, a very, very important thing, don't start thinking about how long you're going to stay here from first year. Take it 1 year at a time. Only think about the summer exams when you're in first year. You finish them, into second year, next step. The year after that, next step, next step, next
Absolutely.
step. Then, just step by step, you get closer to where you want to be.
I agree.
Don't think too far ahead, because that's usually a put-off.
It is. So I hope you take something away from this. All we can do is just share our experiences and just see where the seeds fall, basically.
Hopefully, this is the start of something great for us and for you.
Yeah. And if you need any help with anything, if you want to get involved in any of the things we're doing beyond Brains, On the Limit, the Carlton Society, just drop us a message, and we would have a chat with you and just then work something out. So just get stuck in. Get stuck in everything. Just
good start. Have a good start and then maintain.
Definitely.
Having a good start makes it easier to maintain.
Absolutely, my friend. So expect more videos like this from us, and we hope you have a great year, and welcome to Bulgaria.
Welcome to Bulgaria.
Absolutely, we're gonna have lots of fun.
See you around, guys. All the best.
Bye.
Bye.